Hello, everyone. Welcome to Secrets of Saltmarsh, our Ghosts of Saltmarsh Patreon campaign. Shout out to all of our Patreons. All the people that you see on the screen here are Patreons as well. Without their support, without your support, all the one-shots, two-shots, three-shots marathons that we run on this channel would not be possible. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. If you're interested in more information on what you can get for being a patron, you can check out the link in chat. We also have a YouTube. You can find all of the previous episodes of Secrets of Saltmarsh, as well as our other campaigns over there. Or if you'd like to interact with the game, there's a couple of ways you can do so. You can redeem channel points for free just by hanging out, chatting, lurking, to influence the game by giving players a blessing, which is an advantage die or a reroll to help them that dire moment where they really need to try to push a little harder. Or if you'd like to add an element of fate to the narrative, every $10 guarantees a draw from the deck of many things to the player of your choice. Is it good? Is it bad? It's literally random. So let's jump right into it. We're going to go around and reintroduce ourselves, our characters, and then I will give a recap of what happened last time. Unfortunately, Emma is unable to join us today, but fortunately, it's for good reason. Happy birthday, Emma. Love you so much. Hope you're having an excellent evening. Please check out... Oh, shit, I don't have my bot up. Please check out the links in chat. They'll be there in just a moment to check out Emma Panada on Twitter. They run All the Witches, which is an extremely, very cool game system that very cool people play. And you should definitely check that out. But
and also Thursday. Also every other Thursday.
Every other Thursday, we are playing a limited series here. It is called Our Lives After. It is a Fabula Ultima game. So that is kind of a TTRPG modeled after like Final Fantasy, very anime vibes, and Emma is the game master for that, so you should come check us out. We'll pop on over to GeekDice. Hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm GeekDice. You can find me on X at geek_dice. Getting back into the socials a little bit there. I am playing KayBee, Kissimmee Brightbloom, a Fenadiri or House Fae spirit kind of dude who is now on a life of adventure, having high times with this amazing crew, learning what it is to be a hero, to be a champion, to be worthy. KayBee is a multi-classed wizard blade singer, a artificer, battlesmith, and now a fighter. He wants to be your friend and your hero, KayBee.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Before we move on to the next person, thank you so much, GodfatherWraith, for 5 card draws, including me. So I will, of course, very fashionably give this card to... Actually, we'll give it to Quick this session, since Quick will actually be with you. I believe Tully is back on the ship. You know how to play this game. Thank you so much, Tim. KayBee, tell me when to stop.
This is for Quick.
This is for you. I will draw for Quick.
Maybe Quick will get a knight.
Maybe. Oh my god, that'd be
that
really
would be
funny.
hilarious.
All right, Garen, please tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Oh shit. Okay. Next we have Pole. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
That's fun. Okay. Finn.
Stop.
Okay, and I'm just gonna pull the top card. Oh shit. Quick just drew the star card, so they have stat increase immediately.
Hype.
Oh, dang. Okay.
That is sheet. Do you want me to do something?
Yeah.
With that?
So add +2 to 1 attribute. Okay. Thank you so much, Tim. Tell me all about you.
Hi, I'm GodfatherWraith V_ESG, but you can just call me GodfatherWraith or Tim or anything you want except late for dinner. I play Garen. He's the quintessential nondescript rogue who's just really good at making things dead. And I really don't have a social media presence. Maybe someday I'll brush off the dust from my social media, but I doubt it.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And then we'll hop on over to an extremely cool game designer that's doing some extremely cool things here soon. John.
Thanks. I'm John. I'm also known as Endicarus on the internet. And yeah, I make some games. You can find them on my itch channel that Stella just linked. So, and I'm going to run some of them at a local convention. So we were just talking about it. That's why I'm really excited. But right now, I'm here to play Pole of Ammonfort. Pole is a former street waif from the big city of Ammonfort who's found his way to Saltmarsh and adventure with the likes of Finn, KayBee, and others.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Next, we'll go over to Zombie.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm Zombie MZ. One of the two names you like to call me. I am the lore keeper and Captain Z of the Good Ship Clip. I probably do too many clips, so that's up to your own discretion. Today, I play Finn Carson, who is a ranger researcher who is basically going on this quest to find out what has been bringing out all of these different evil curses and things. More specific to Finn himself, he has had more history with zombies and stuff, but as he's gone through and looked up different things, he realizes there's other things like, you know, vampires and all kinds of other crazy stuff and sorcerers with all kinds of weird dark magic. So he's here to try and solve all of that. And as of last episode, he had a vision of kind of what he hopes will resolve in this whole adventure that he's on. And when he found out that it was nothing more than just a dream and trickery being put upon him, he became very angry and very distant. So I'm not going to be a very happy boy today.
All right. Just as a reminder and recap of what happened last time, we began to make our way across the Eel Coast, and our destination is Uskarn. We have been sent that way by letter from the king, which instructed us to go to Seaton to seek out the Duke. And from there, the Duke told us that the Crown wants to employ you on a secret mission. No one must know that this is tied to the king. You are being asked for your discretion. They essentially want to send some mutual aid across the water to this village of Uskarn that has been waylaid time and time again by the efforts of the Sea Princes. You've made your way to Uskarn. Deciding to approach by rowboat, you disembarked the Sea Lily, leaving it out in the ocean. And you came across a gruesome scene. There was a body being bloodied, torn apart by what you discovered was a harpy-like creature. Perhaps their queen, perhaps their leader, they're the one rallying the various harpies that were spinning around in the air around you. Let me pull up the map of the combat that ensued. During the combat, there were some significant things that happened. We had the harpy matriarch use some sort of charm or illusionary magic that cast a veil over both Finn and KayBee. They were shaken. They were mesmerized by the visions of the things that they desired most. And then it became torturous. It became perverted and twisted and wicked. You were able to shake it off and come to your senses. And I believe it was KayBee with a flurry of their blades that finally took down the matriarch. As the matriarch falls, You see the harpies all around you scatter, the ones that you have not already taken down, and they flee into the sky. Now, no more than dark silhouettes against storm clouds. Oh. No, we lost Zombie. We will be back, maybe. I'll be back real quick. So, as the group of you witness the matriarch fall down over this body, I will fix the cameras. What does everyone want to do here? Some of you are still reeling in pain, bloodied.
Well, Paul will rush over and try and help anyone who's hurt.
Garen is going to start investigating the body of the matriarch.
Okay.
And I think there was a person who was a victim of the harpies. I think when we
Yes.
originally came up, the matriarch was in disguise, right? Maybe shape changed to look like a person.
Mm-hmm.
So KayBee rolls over. He's laying in the sand there, pretty badly beaten. He rolls over and he kind of on all fours crawls over towards the other person that was there to check for a pulse.
All right. So let me get a medicine check from KayBee, an investigation check from Garen, and Paul. You can see that Finn is wounded, but not too badly hurt. KayBee is very, very badly hurt.
Right. I'll rush over to KB then. KB, what happened? You look wrecked.
I kind of made a mess, didn't I?
Oh boy. Yeah, we need to heal you up. I don't know. Do you have any healing potions or something? I don't actually have any on me. I got a flask of soup though. It's very good. You made it.
I'll have some soup, please.
There you go.
And as I taste the soup, I investigate all the flavors to see if I can tell what kind of soup it is.
It's very obviously a soup that you made, so you tell me what's in it.
I think if Paul is eating it, it probably is a variety of mushrooms from under the docks. It's a mushroom-based soup with a soybean flavor to it. It's a variety of mushrooms that grow only under the docks at Saltmarsh. Thankfully, we stumbled upon those one day when we were trying to find our little goblin friend. So as I glug down the soup, I bring out one of my tools and hold to my chest. It's my spanner. I hold to my chest and gluck gluck gluck, and I cast a cure light wound or cure wounds on myself. I'm gonna pump it at 3rd level.
All right.
I'm in pretty bad shape. So there's a burst of light as this healing unleashes into my chest and my wounds start to stitch closed. My clothes are probably in tatters.
So perhaps to Paul, it might look like this soup has restored you.
Really hit the spot. Huh.
You know how to make some really good soup, KV.
Thanks, brother.
All right, go ahead and restore 25 hit points. With that 3 medicine, the body, when you look upon it, seems curious. You can see that it was once an older human male with scraggly gray beard and short gray hair balding at the crown. His left ear is missing, though it is obviously a very old wound. He wears only a pair of homespun water-soaked breeches, and his skin is wrinkled from having spent time in the water. You can't really tell much other than that. The goring at his intestines seems to be very recent. It's fresh. It's very clear that the harpies were eating the corpse of this person. But from what took this person down, you're not sure. With a 15 investigation, you begin to look over the Harpy matriarch here.
Oh, she's over there.
You don't see anything really of interest. This is very clearly a monster, not a person. They have on these tatters of clothing that was clearly scavenged off of another person, perhaps a former victim. This creature has features that are humanoid in shape, but they also have monstrous features. Their hands end in talons. There are feathers that grow out of them in clusters, and their skin is stretched tight, almost like leather, over their bony frames. You can tell from their weight that they are capable of flight. They're probably even capable of carrying small people out into the air as well with them. But with the work that your group has made, obviously, don't stand a chance against you.
Oh, well. What do you make of the of their victim, KayBee?
I don't know. It might be a fisherman or something. And I kind of look around. What do we see in the area around here? I guess we're still like near the beach. Yes.
Yes, you have
And any
barely.
structures?
So you can see that there is a path that leads away, presumably in the direction of Uskarn, the village that you were intending to head towards. And it's not very far away. You can even see some of the taller buildings in the distance past a sand dune here. But you're basically on the beach. You haven't made very far. You look around, you don't see any other vessels, only the rowboat that you came in.
Fishing pole, a net, maybe a basket of mushrooms.
No. This person isn't even wearing shoes.
Is there a cave nearby? Maybe he lives somewhere around here. He's a hermit.
Go ahead and roll me a survival check or a perception check.
All right, so I think Paul is exhausted. I have it marked down on the sheet anyway, so that makes disadvantage for this.
Yes.
I'll accompany Paul. I think we're all curious.
Yeah, I think Garen might roll a survival as well.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Anybody can do this. You get the sense with all the commotion that you've made that there are not going to be any wild animals that will disturb the area anytime quickly. So you can begin to explore around if you like. No one's going to disturb the corpse. Okay, so that is a 15 from Garen, a 12 from KayBee, a 17 from both Pole and Finn. The group begins to kind of sweep the beach here. You can see that the terrain doesn't give much way to anything at all. There are small rock outcroppings, but no caves, so to speak. You try to look for tracks or any indication of where this person came from, and it's impossible to tell. The water laps right up to the scene of the crime and washes it all away. But you can tell that this person doesn't seem to have very much on them, just the clothes on their body. No backpack, no pouches, not even a belt, no shoes. Nothing else litters the beach here. I will say that Pole, as you're looking through the sand, you stumble over something. You kick something in the sand that you realize is a bit hard, and you begin to dig. As you dig, I'm going to pull up a rollable table. But what is everyone else doing in the meantime as you essentially find literally nothing?
Checking out the tree line. I guess, looking amongst the rocks, see if there's anything that shows maybe this person had a camp.
No camp at all. So with all of this, KayBee, roll me an investigation check.
Hey, I love investigation checks.
Okay.
Can't see. 19.
19. With all of the contextual clues that you have discovered now of there being literally nothing, you think you have a very strong suspicion this person swam from somewhere. They're too heavy, too bulky to have been carried by the harpies. So they either came from the village or they swam from somewhere.
Is
I
all
share
wet.
that with the group. Look around, I guess, out to the water. If there's any, look down the beach. See if there's, there's a little island or something.
Yeah, Garen's gonna head down to the beach, see if he can see any signs that he came up on shore here.
Okay.
Maybe look for tracks.
Yeah. So another survival check.
Unfortunately,
Stick with what I
searching for tracks was part of that previous survival
Okay.
check. There are no tracks. The water washes right up to the scene of the battle here. So, it is about here that Pole, you finish pulling something out of the sand. You have drawn the key card, which means you get a rare magic item.
Nice.
I just picked one randomly, so I don't know if this is going to be busted or not. You pick up what appears to be a strange looking lantern. It is very ornately made. You can tell that it's very old. It is this sort of copperish bronze material, perhaps even a hybrid. It is very smooth in shape. It doesn't have any hard edges. It's a circular lantern that comes in an almost egg-like base. And inside, you can see that there are wisps of white light that mingle with this bluish greenish essence. It's very clearly magic. Roll me a perception check.
Right. Ooh, with disadvantage, I get the 3.
Okay. It's hazy. You can tell that it's very, very dirty, and it might need cleaning if you want to see any finer details.
Look what I found, KayBee. It's some kind of, I don't know, it's like a old lantern or something. Can you tell what it's supposed to do? You think it's magic? Looks magic.
Of course. Yeah. Let's make a fire and take a little break.
Sure, I could use a break. I'm
So
dead tired.
yeah, so we'll maybe get a little rest, and I'll bust out the spell book, and as a ritual, I'll cast Identify. Sitting there, cross-legged in the sand, hopefully by a fire, and get a little bit of a rest.
Okay, do you want to do this away from the corpse?
Yeah, I think we'll do it away from the corpse. It sounds like it's a fairly big beach.
Yeah.
You know, and nothing else. I'm sure Garen would probably tell us to go, hey, go over by those rocks over there so you're out of sight kind of thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yes, so you begin to set up camp here, and we can have the effects of a short rest as KayBee begins to cast this spell. I'll go ahead and post this into our Saltmarsh chat. You are able to determine that this is a ghost lantern.
Ooh.
It is a wondrous item of rare quality. It requires attunement. A restless spirit is trapped inside this lantern. While holding the lantern, you can command the spirit as a bonus action to shed bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. While holding the lantern, you can use an action to order the spirit to leave the lantern and duplicate the effect of the Mage Hand spell. The spirit returns to the lantern whenever the spell ends. If you fall unconscious within 10 feet of the lantern, the spirit emerges from it, magically stabilizes you with a touch, then quickly returns to the lantern. The spirit is bound to the lantern and can't be harmed, turned, or raised from the dead. Casting a Dispel Evil and Good spell on the lantern releases the spirit to the afterlight and renders it non-magical.
I tried talking to the lantern in Common, Dwarvish, and Sylvan to see if it speaks any languages. See if I find out its name.
If you make like a cursory attempt, there is no response, and very quickly with the identify spell, you get the sense that in order to begin communication, you'll have to attune to this item.
Okay, so I'll explain all that to Paul.
Oh, that's really cool.
I don't know what his name is. Them.
Yeah. Well,
Look, they look really cute.
maybe
though.
does it say on here? Maybe there's a name on the bottom.
Well,
Turns it upside down.
there's a, I guess the command word to activate it is
Name generator.
Yeah.
I normally have these open so it seems seamless, but I'm still getting used to everything being set up.
Oh
Yeah, new setup.
I think, is this my first session DMing? No, I did Frost
With us?
Maiden.
No, Frost
Oh,
Maiden.
yeah.
I
was
did
the
Frost
first
Maiden.
one.
Okay.
Mhm.
Let's see. There is an ornate script on the bottom pole. You begin to use a little rag and you rub at the bottom. You see this object is extremely dirty, and you see the name Milvia.
You know, there's a thing about polishing a lantern. You know what I mean? Dreams come true.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something dirty.
Paul.
Well, it's a little bit like a song that I heard back in Apple. Well, forget it. Maybe this is their name then. I'm gonna say it. Milvia, can you please come out and play?
As you say this, nothing happens. KayBee would have told you that you will have to attune to it. So essentially, you'll have to sit there and meditate and focus for at least an hour. And it will take up one of your attunement slots.
Whoa, focus for a whole hour. That's gonna be hard for Paul. But he'll try his best.
Okay. Is there anything that y'all want to do during your short rest?
I think depending on where we are, I don't know if we're like by the ladder or the little rope that's up here, or where we decided to like land on by, but Finn will probably be under one of those rocks, and hearing everyone kind of basically say, okay, we're gonna make camp here and everything, he kind of takes it upon himself to kind of like distance himself enough from the party. So I'll just put myself over there just for sakes. And he's just gonna sit there, and he's gonna hold onto his locket. It's probably as tight as he's ever held onto it before, and silently will probably just be sitting there with tears in his eyes as they're falling, and just in his head over and over in his head is just everything of like, oh, I wish I could have. Is that real? Is that not real? Is that in the future? Is that this dark magic getting back to me? Is that oh, I can't think of the name of the main villain that Finn doesn't like right now. I can't think of him.
Kaldak?
Kelladek, yes, thank you. Is that Kelladek? Is that him? Is his magic? Is that one of his people he controls? Is this just another evil form of dark magic? What is this? Because he's never had magic like this, like, control his mind like this. It very much freaks him out. And the fact that somebody else who could do harm knows his greatest desire just freaks him out. So in his mind, he's just, it's like a spinning Rolodeck. But like, if you were just to physically see him, he would just be sitting there with his eyes closed and his head down. And if you were to look close enough, you could see him tear up.
So as you pull away to yourself here, you begin to ask these questions and they ring with no answer. They spill over in your mind and you talk circles around yourself. They confuse you more than anything else. There is no clarity to be found here. and the emotions are overwhelming. As you're crying, you might occasionally look up. You can see that your companions are busying with attuning to items, researching what the item could be, and they're off to the side. About an hour passes, so you have an hour to yourself to think over these things. But by the time the hour does hit, the emotions are still strong. You can feel whatever you like to feel, but there is a brief moment where there is some clarity. You have drawn the Vizier card. You can ask one question, and even though you have 100 questions right now, there's one that you'll get an answer for in this moment.
I think Finn in this moment, I think he ultimately really wants to know the answer to a question he's always wanted to ask, but he feels as though there's an more important mission right now. And he will continue to lull himself into thinking that the hair that he has for Abigail will somehow bring her back or whatever. On his mind currently, though, it's more pressing that this magic that's going on, this evil sort of magic, like he kind of wants to. I know this. I guess answer this the best that you can, because it's gonna sound like two questions, and I'm not trying to make it sound like two questions. But he kind of wants to know what this dark magic is, and if it can actually use this against him. So I don't know if we can blend that into a one question or how.
Yeah, so you begin to replay the battle that you just had in your mind. And whether it is because you have taken a moment to try to reflect, you have some clarity here. You reach deep into your training as a researcher, into the hours that you've put into poring over studying dark magic that you have. And you realize that this is not connected to Kaladek. This is a different sort of magic. Perhaps a magic that is intrinsic to a monster, a natural sort of magic. You get the sense that because you never met this creature, KayBee never met this creature before, but somehow it knew these things about you. It was less about that it could read and know exactly what to give you, but it twisted your own perception. The magic was more of a mirror than digging into your mind. So the reason that what you saw hurt so badly is because you know deep down that is what would hurt you so badly. It wasn't necessarily a weapon that this creature had.
And I wouldn't be able to ascertain from any of that what kind of magic it is. Like if I would.
It's like a
recognize that
natural kind of magic.
Okay.
Yeah, you're able to tell perhaps that harpies, they are known to charm sailors and lead them to dangerous shores. This was probably something like that.
It wasn't more about being harmed fin-wise. It was just their natural instinct is to play on the emotions. What will get this person the most emotion? How can we lure this person in to ultimately just destroy or command or whatever their purpose is. It's just they found that and used that memory to get whatever control they were trying to get out of me.
You get the sense that they didn't find or choose a memory at all. They just did something to you, and it was because that's important to you. You chose that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's important to me. Okay. All right. Then I guess Finn will just be kind of like he'll feel a little bit more relieved. He'll feel a little bit more whatever on the situation. Feels like he's got a bit more brevity about, okay, this is a different style of stuff here that isn't all interconnected. And yeah, he'll just continue just to sit there and ponder all of this.
Okay. Is there anything else y'all want to do during this short rest?
No, because I was thinking Garen might go over and talk to Finn, but well, you had other plot for that. So I guess Garen was just, you know, letting Finn have his alone moment while he was keeping an eye out for anything that approached.
Mm-hmm.
Garen, did you find any loot on that harpy?
No, there was nothing on her. They have a nest or cave somewhere that might be where they keep the loot, but I'm no good at tracking things in the air.
Yet.
KayBee,
Yet.
I have a question. I was going to ask you this after you told me about, what this ghost lantern's supposed to do. It's, really somebody's spirit is stuck in there, right? And they
I
can't
know.
get to the afterlife.
I think you can help him escape, but you probably need strong magic.
And the question is, are they there intentionally or against their will?
Well, if you can't talk to them, I mean, how can you know?
I think that kind of magic, though, it's not what they wanted, but the wizard
Yeah.
who made it, or whatever, yeah, that's the thing about magic like that. Takes away free will,
Yeah, I think it's really shitty. I think I'm not going to use it, but I think I want to try and find a way to release Milvia so she can go on. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's not a she. Sounded like a girl's name. But anyway, I think you think that's the right thing to do?
Uh,
I don't
that-
think they should have to be my slave.
I think so. I think you're right. I agree. We can
I
maybe
see.
find some strong magic. Dispel magic
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
But
just be
I'm not
just
so
be nice to
good at-
them. Yeah. Just be nice to them until then,
All right, and then let me know if you know anyone who can cast that spell.
Yeah, somebody a little far away from here. But
Think it would cost money then?
maybe a little bit.
All right, I'll save up for it.
Let me check Arlen's spells. Because
She would just take it though. She would use it.
casting
command them.
dispel evil. Oh, dispel evil.
Oh, dispel evil and good.
That's
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
actually-
very strong spell.
Fifth level spell.
Oh yeah, you don't. Arlen is like, whoa, not gonna be for a while.
Mm.
You would know that the priests in Saltmarsh also would not. You'd have to go to a much larger city.
Yeah, you'd
Maybe
probably
I'm in
need somebody straight caster, straight class, 9th level.
Yeah, you'd probably have to wait for the second campaign when y'all are higher level and go to the big city.
the quest to
right.
free the ghost
All
from
right,
the
I'll just-
lantern.
I'll put it in the haversack for now.
Yeah. Maybe later donate it to a church and they can help them out.
So I'll
You know
say
what?
that.
Maybe if I yeah,
Go ahead.
Oh, maybe Heward will come by and help me with it. He's come before.
Really?
I'll really ask. Yeah. He gave me the haversack.
Pull as you begin to put it away. We'll say that it's about the hour mark here. You can see that a tiny white blue face pushes up against the glass. You see these very, very small hands, and they look up at you as you begin to put it into your backpack.
Oh well, I'll put it back out then.
As you pull it out, you
Man.
can see they kind of slink down, trying to make themselves as small as possible.
It's okay, Milvia. I wonder if Milvia can see anything. Can you hear me, Milvia?
You see they begin to nod. As they kind of move closer to the edge of the lantern, the material is glassy that separates the outside and the inside. You can see that the outline of whatever this creature is, the spirit of it, it almost looks like a fox, like a humanoid fox. Very, very tiny, about the size of Penny Sprinkle inside of this. But they have this sort of foxy head and these little hands that come out into 5 taloned fingertips.
It's really cute. So Milvia, if you can let me know what you like, I'll try and help you. I know maybe it's gonna be a long time before I can get the magic to release you from this cage, but I can let you out sometimes if you like, and you don't have to do anything for me. I'll just let you out. All you gotta do is just tap on the glass, and I'll let you out anytime you want. I can.
Roll a persuasion check at advantage here. Well, you're exhausted, so normally.
Just regular. Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Double
Same
25s.
anyway.
Hell yeah. You see there's a moment of hesitance as Milvia regards you, and then all of a sudden, she begins to jump around in a fit of glee. You can see that she throws up her hands and she's very excited. You hear the occasional tink, 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 tink as she touches up against the glass, but you can't hear any voice from within. They seem to be excited by this.
I'll try it then. If I can use the command word, I'll say it strongly, Milvia, and kind of channel my expectation into the act and see if she can get out.
As you do so, you get the sense that it doesn't quite work like that. You say her name and she begins to bounce around excitedly as well. You will only be able to summon her out to do specific things. So you can essentially make her shine brighter light. You can basically use her as a mage hand spell. She can basically cast Spare the Dying on you specifically if you fall unconscious within 10 feet of it. And that's about it. So it's very limited interactions. She can't stay out of the lantern without specific direction.
All right. So I will try. I want her to come out at least once. So I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna write the alphabet on the sand, and I'm gonna ask her to jump on the letters to spell what she wants to say,
That's so fun.
like a mage hand.
You see your friends are basically starting to pack up camp around you, and you begin to spell out the letters into the sand with your fingertip. Quick comes over and puts their feathery hands on their hips and cock their head as they look down at you, very curious about what happens. And as you direct Milvia to come out, the lantern bursts with sudden energy, and you see this little fox-like spirit appear. They stand upright like a person, and they have a fox tail. So there are very obviously some kind of anthropomorphic spirit, and they begin to jump. And as they jump, you see small blue-white particles coming off of them. They are made purely out of light. They jump on H-E-L-L-O, and then get vacuumed right up into the lantern.
Oh, hi. My name is Paul. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm gonna try and help you do what you want to do instead of just what I want to do. But I guess I can only let you out to do something that I want to do. So we'll have to do stuff like this for me to know what's gonna go on. But I'll work with you on that, and someday, if you want, I'll get you out of there. I'll have to find out if you even want to get out. It sounds like you might. But anyway, nice to meet you. Hope we can be friends. And these are my other friends, and I'll pull out my little mouse, I'll pull out my little lobster, and I'll get Penny Sprinkle to show up, and I'll introduce them all by name.
You see, as you mention this intention of letting them out, they sit down and they seem to be pensive for a moment. And when you say, if that's what you want, you can see a tiny hand press up against the glass. They don't have to say anything. You know that they want to be let out. And as you introduce your small companions, they bounce around excitedly. They are very curious and very clearly like pushing their face up against the glass, trying to see better. buttons, comes close, scurries, sniffs the lantern, then goes hiding in your clothes. Penny Sprinkle puts her hands on her hips and says, "Be careful. It's magic. There's no telling if it might backfire at any time."
Well, thanks for the help, Penny. I will be careful, but more important, to be nice.
And you see that she takes out her little toothpick of a sword and she pokes the glass with increasing intensity. "Don't worry, I think it's very sturdy. It's not going to break very easily."
That's good.
And she begins
Oh, where do you
fluttering
get a
around.
hold of Tully? I'll show you to my other mate when we get back to the ship.
As you say that, Quick is like rubbing the back of his neck and slowly beginning to move away. And it's about this time that y'all begin to head towards Uskarn. Garen, you do see that Pole and KayBee kind of pull ahead. If you did want to talk to Finn privately, you could do so. It seems that you'll probably have like a 30-minute walk.
Yeah, I think Garen will hold back and let Finn catch up.
Yeah, I think for Finn, he'll again just be to himself, and then he'll kind of hear packing up, and then he'll kind of hear that it was stopped, hear some kind of commotion, kind of look up, and then he'll see like the bouncing spirit and all this stuff, kind of see what that happens, and then as everyone's packing up and heading towards whatever direction, he'll kind of wait a little bit, and then he'll kind of get up and he'll follow everybody. So probably Finn will be the one in the very back.
All right. Well, Garen is hanging back waiting for Finn. So it's
You
Finn.
two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So as Finn catches up to him, Finn, you looking? Are you all right?
Well, I don't want to lie and say yes. Well, no. But hopefully it'll pass.
All right. No, I would have accepted the lie if you'd have told me, but appreciate the honesty.
I don't want to lie to you all. Yeah.
If ever you need someone to talk to, man, I'll listen.
I'll keep that in mind. For sure, but we've got something to do here, and if all goes well, then possibly on the trip back, I'll probably fill you in on a few things.
All right.
As you begin to approach the village, you can see that Uskarn is a small fishing village. Probably no more than 900 people live here. It is much smaller than Saltmarsh itself. You can see that there are a wide variety of people that live here. Passing by as you enter the village, you see elves, dwarves, gnomes, humans, all bearing different walks of life. There seem to be quite a few number of merchants that are carting their goods away. Uskarn has a port, and you know that this port is frequented by military vessels. So it is a good thing that you didn't come directly here. You at least have some anonymity with your approach. Folks walking past you don't even seem to really give you much regard. They might look you up and down. You see their eyes lingering a bit on the sigil of the sea lily on KayBee's clothing, but they don't stop. They don't ask questions, and they pass by. You get the sense that adventurers come through here, or at least trouble comes through Uskarn, enough that they know better to mind their own business. You can see that there are fishing vessels, and by the number of them docking in the eastern distance here, that very likely fishing is the primary industry here in Uskarn, very similar to Saltmarsh. You see currently that there's a large naval ship but it does not seem to have any heraldry. You cannot tell if it belongs to the king or perhaps one of the sea princes. Their sails are furled up and they are bearing no flags. You begin to approach what appears to be a main thoroughfare. It is a dirt road between buildings, and you see that the houses are mostly one level with thatched roofs. Nothing too extravagant. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
Do these people look like they live well? Do they look like they have a decent standard of living? Like, they look like they're fed? Do we see beggars in the street?
You do see beggars. You see that they are holding up their hands and trying to get your attention as you approach, especially as you approach from outside the village. Go ahead and roll me investigation here.
That being the case, here's my investigation, 31.
Wow, not 20.
Yeah.
Very
So
good.
as I look around, I'm also kind of alert. I kind of reach for my coin purse. I kind of assess the situation. I don't want to get mobbed by people, but if I see an opportunity to press a couple coppers or silver into somebody's palm, who's somebody who's asking, I do.
Yeah. With a 31 investigation, you get the sense that if you were to slip a few coins here and there, it would be safe. It would be fine. It might be troublesome if you start giving away gold pieces without discretion. That might draw some unwanted attention. But the people here seem to have a variety of status and wealth. You see merchants that are well dressed. You can see that there are folk that are hardy and healthy. You see that there are some sick. So it just seems that some people are down on their luck. It's really hard to tell. You just got here.
I think Garen would keep an eye out for like a soup kitchen or anyone that's clearly giving aid to the beggars or the paupers.
Yeah. Where you are right now, you don't see any, but as soon as you do, I'll let you know.
Okay.
So is your intention to give some coin to this beggar?
Well, I anticipate there may be several
Mm-hmm.
in it, and like I said, if I see the opportunity, I'll press the silver or maybe a couple coppers, spread out a gold piece worth of copper and silver.
Mm-hmm. So as you approach one of the beggars towards the entrance of the village, they perk up instantly as you press, we'll say, 3 copper into their hand. Oh, thank you.
Are you okay? Maybe get some to eat.
Yes, I will. You see that this person is a middle-aged human man, and he seems to have weathered skin, has been outdoors, and is quite dirty, and seems to have been for some while. And he clutches his hands around these coins. You could see that his nails are cracked, and that he's had a very hard time. He stands up, and he points down the street and says, "Yes, I will be heading straight to the soup kitchen."
Oh, where's that?
It's down the road.
I kind of look in that direction. So,
Yeah.
okay.
He says, it's to the right, past the tax office.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. What might be your name?
I'm KayBee.
KayBee. Yes, thank you. You are so generous. And
What's your name?
my name is Eldrick.
Eldrick. Nice to meet you.
He casts a curious eye over the sigil of the sea lily and says, "Which lord do you serve?"
Lady Arlen.
Oh, I have not heard of this person before.
Yeah, we're a small group. I'm part of a small group from the north, but yeah.
Oh, well, many blessings to Lady Arlen. and her
Yeah, I
people.
guess I'm a little bit leery. I know I probably shouldn't say too much. My mind races a little bit. I'm maybe worried. I know in some places, sometimes the people of the street are part of the information network of the criminals. I think I experienced that in grad school, which is a big city. It's a large port city. So I'm wary for those things. Do I get any kind of feels from this guy that maybe there's something unscrupulous about them?
You can roll a insight check if you like.
I'm bad at that, but I got 11.
Okay. With an 11, you don't suspect anything. We'll say Arlen's like in the background hanging out with Quick talking to a guard or something. So Arlen is busy. They don't seem to have any follow-up questions from this. And they say, many blessings to Lady Arlen and her people. And you can see that he continues to bow and slowly edge towards the direction of the soup kitchen.
I let him go.
Yeah, and he quickly scurries away. And you can see kind of going up the road, there is a string of people that are also begging. So Garen, you can see the soup kitchen from here.
Yeah, Garen likes what KB's doing, and with Garen's background, he wants to, but he knows a handful of people can only do so much, but helping the people that are focusing on helping them can do a lot more. So he's gonna head there and ask if there's anything he can do to help them.
Yeah, so as the group of you begin to approach the soup kitchen, you see that there are some interesting people that are serving anyone who's walking in. You see that there is a particularly well-dressed elderly man. He has the sort of face that you can tell they smile a lot. Their cheeks are quite red and round, and as they service people, giving them the next bowl, they smile so easily, and you can see it twinkling in their eyes. This person is well dressed. You see that their clothing marks them as someone of perhaps middle class or higher. And they have a very neat appearance about them. They have an apron tied to their front in front of these purple-blue robes. Can I get either a perception or insight check from you, Garen?
Perception's the better.
Okay, with a 17, you notice that this man has ink underneath his fingernails. You get the sense that he must somehow work with paper and scribing. So this is probably an educated or well-off merchant, perhaps.
Right.
And they are actively pouring bowls of food to people.
Right. Garen would approach. Hello. I believe my friend and I would like to offer you any aid we can. We're new to town, and whether it's donation or our time, we would like to help.
Hello, welcome to Uskarn. My name is Vortanim. Chat there. And I welcome you to my home. We certainly can use more volunteers if that is something you are willing for. Materials, whether it's food or coin, will of course also aid. It is good to see folks like you. You don't seem to be from here. What generosity brings you here to Uskarn, our humble home?
Oh, we're a band of adventurers, and we're on our way through the area. And, well, we can aid with food and time, so I think we'll donate some money for you to get resources, and I know I will give my time if anyone else wants to.
Oh, yes. Grab an apron, come around the table, help me spoon some of these bowls out to folk. If one of you would like, I need someone to head over to the Fog and Frog Tavern to grab another barrel of soup.
I can do that. And I've got legs with me, so legs will be my wagon.
Yeah. You see Vortanum kind of lean to the side to look past and look at you. Oh ho ho! What is this?
Just a little machine that helps with tasks.
Oh, I know Miria would be so curious to see. If you have time, you should go seek out our village smith, Miria Delvain.
Okay.
Yeah, legs is very handy, that's for sure.
Yes, you will make easy work of this barrel. Please seek out the Fog and Frog Tavern. Tell Skeldruff that Vortanum needs the soup for today.
I salute. I look around for that. The Fog and Frog.
Okay. So you leave the building. You'll have to move further into the village. What do the rest of you do? You see Vortanum with a big, meaty hand just gesturing all of you to come around back.
Yeah. Garen takes up an apron and starts helping,
Okay.
as he promised.
Of walk around and help the best he can with whatever tasks he can
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
as well.
And we are also starting to make friends, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with somebody who appears to have wealth, which tends to have influence in places like this.
Paul
And
will help out as well.
okay.
He'll do some bussing or dishwashing or whatever it takes.
Yeah, you see Vortanum kind of lean down towards you, Paul. Oh, you look like a spry, powerful young lad. Why don't we get you in the kitchen? We could definitely use your help in there.
Sure thing. Love it.
And you can see that the kitchen is actually very well maintained. You get the sense that this building is a loved place, and they try to make the best of it that they can. The building itself is old. It's very obviously been repurposed out of some other... it used to be perhaps a warehouse at some point. So the kitchen is very makeshift here, and you can see that they don't necessarily have the utilities to cook the food here, and it's more of a distribution area. But you go about and you help organize and clean the various dishes. Garen and Finn, you are distributing food to people that move through. And very quickly you learn that though they don't charge people, they do accept donations. So you see Eldrick, who had been given coin here just moments ago, proudly walks up to Vortanum and displays 3 copper. Look, I finally have the chance to give back to you, Vortanum. Ho ho ho! You know that is not necessary, Eldrick. You are a fine person, and that will help you much more than we need here at the kitchen. It is fine, please. And you see Vortanum close his hand around it, curling Eldrick's fingers over the coin. Get something nice for yourself. And enjoy the soup. We have new friends here, and he reaches out and slaps Finn on the back of his shoulder. You see Eldrick look over you. Yes, I met them. They are servants of the Lady Arlen. Oh ho, Lady Arlen. Tell me more of this person.
I think as Finn hears Lady Arlen, because I'm going to just assume that Finn wasn't around for that whole conversation with KayBee, he just smirks a little bit. It's the first time he's kind of smiled and smirked at that. He's not going to say anything, he's going to go along with it, but he's just like, okay. Um. Well, I guess he'll kind of like. I guess they're looking at him. He'll kind of turn over to them and, well, what would you like to know?
Oh. Uh, for what mission does your lady adventure? What intent does she strike out?
Well, I believe at the moment we are just sent out on sort of a peace mission of scouring about the area. We had heard about this area and we were just kind of told to look around, see how things are, see who people are here and different beings and just kind of scout out this place, you know? Um, haven't had a chance to get out into this part of the woods. And so we're just to report to see if this is a good, bad place, and so far this seems to be a very generous and nice place.
Oh, that is very kind. And you see Vortanum begins to wipe his hands on his apron, and he holds one of his large square palms out to you, Finn, almost to offer it to shake. Well, perhaps let me introduce myself properly. I am
please.
one of the council members of Uskarn.
Oh,
I run a bookshop here in Uskarn, and when I have time, I volunteer at the soup kitchen.
um, a bookstore, you say?
Yes.
As Finn goes to shake his hand.
And he does the shake where it's shaking your whole body. And
yes, I would definitely like to check out the bookstore. I'm a bit of a bookworm. One of my specialties is a researcher, so part of the reason I'm out here.
Oh,
But yes.
research. And then Vortanum will basically just strike up some small talk and talk to you about books and research. And while that's happening, Garen, you are ladling out food to people and passing them plates. There is a long line of folks. You have arrived around mid-afternoon, so it makes sense that people would be hungry. You see folks
Right.
of many different walks of life. You see folks that are well-dressed, some folks that are down on their luck. It's very clear that this is a hub for the community. It's very important and useful to the locals here. Is there anything that you're trying to do or discern as you're helping people?
Well, I'd say that as he's working, he's, giving mine to the people he's giving food to and, does his best to smile because he doesn't do it often, so he's out of practice. But, kind of listening half-heartedly to what Finn and Voltanum are talking about while doing this. But if anybody comes in that really catches attention, he might, you know, give them a little bit more interaction.
Okay. Would you say that it's accurate that Garen is probably a bit on the stoic side of presentation and probably
Yes.
not talkative?
Very much.
Okay, yeah, I had a feeling. So if that's the case, can I get an insight check from you?
Okay. His insight's not great, but
Okay.
9.
With a 9, you can't really tell. So you do notice a trend, at least. You can't guess why people are acting this way. But you notice that as people are coming up to you, they're sort of looking you up and down, checking you out. And they also don't start conversation with you. Maybe it's because you're an outsider, you're not sure. But as they're kind of moving down the line and getting other things on their plates, they smile to other people and nod their heads, but they don't smile at you. And they don't really engage with you. They don't start a conversation.
Okay.
And it doesn't seem like it's a hostile thing. It's
Right.
definitely like a suspicious of you or like a curious kind of thing. It's not aggressive.
Yeah. I can tell they're not angry or scared of me. They're just unsure.
Yes.
Okay. So probably like most people Garen interacts with. So he just keeps going, doesn't even notice.
Okay. Excellent. In the kitchen, Pole, there is a lot of work to do, and there are quite a few people kind of moving around you, occasionally, try to squeeze past you, elbowing here and there. What kind of energy, what kind of vibe do we get from Pole as you are literally thrown into the deep end of a lot of menial, hard labor?
Oh, he's terrible. First, he's exhausted, so anything he tries to do is disadvantaged because of that. And so anything that requires any sort of skill is going to be hard for him. But he's still going to try his best. He might slip and fall on, the water near the dish pit. He might cut himself with a knife and have to try and bandage it up. He's probably going to cause so much mayhem that they'll get rid of him. But he is honestly going to try his best.
Go ahead and roll me a flat charisma check.
There. Okay.
Oh my god. That would have been a nat 20
Wow.
if you weren't exhausted. But it's still a 19. So you get the sense that people are getting annoyed by you very quickly, but no one has told you to get out. And no one has shoved you deliberately. They seem to generally enjoy that there's someone here to help them. At a certain point, someone begins to pull you to the side, and you see that this person is a gnome. She has her hair pulled back into tight braids, and she basically grabs your wrist and drags you off to the side. She has these sparkling blue eyes and this dark chestnut brown hair. From the way that she's dressed, you get the sense that she might be a shopkeep. She's pretty decently... her clothes are of decent quality, and she also has an apron. You've seen that she's hopped up on the stool and been dishwashing for most of the time you've been back here. She says, "Hey there, buddy. You doing okay? I saw that you dropped a few dishes back there."
Sorry about that.
It's okay. We've got more dishes. I've got more plates. We can find some more. What's going on with you?
I'm just trying to help, I'm a bit tired. I haven't slept so much recently, but thought I'd help. Maybe I'm making it worse. I should probably not do that. No, what I could do though. I could do you guys like music? I could play a song while you guys do the work. I just want to feel like I'm not helping,
Hey. There's no way that you're making anything worse. You just being here, look, we appreciate it. Uskarn isn't the best place to live, and it's got its flaws, but the most important thing is that it has heart. And with heart, anything is possible. I think a song would be great. We haven't had someone play in the soup kitchen in years. What can you play?
Well, look, I have a lute right here, and it's a special magic one. It can make little pictures, and I'll start singing a song about how the people in this town have heart.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me performance at advantage.
Okay, so just regular because I'm at disadvantage normally.
Yes, thank you.
But still pretty good. Oh, that was persuasion. Sorry, wrong button.
It's
Try
okay.
that again. There we go.
Okay. Great. An 18. You begin to play music. And instantly you can see that the mood of the soup kitchen begins to change. There's more laughter. Some people are nodding along and trying to sing along to this song that you're making up on the fly. You see this gnome. She begins clapping, and you can see that she grabs a pot and a pan and just like tries to join along with your rhythm and your cadence. So noise, which can be considered music to some people, begins to erupt from the kitchen. At the front, you can see people who you're serving, Finn and Garen, they kind of look beyond you, trying to peer into the kitchen. Hey, what's going on there? Where's the music coming from?
Muted. Sounds like it's coming from the kitchen.
Oh. Well.
Sounds like Paul at work. Let's see if he'll come out here and join us.
Oh, yes. The person that you are serving currently, for the first time, someone smiles at you. And they wait, very clearly expecting you to do it.
So Garen will head back into the kitchen. And naturally sees Paul playing. You know.
Pole's playing very, very well.
Yeah.
And he's also making pictures. He's making it just like a comedy of himself, like a cartoon version of himself that's falling down and dropping a knife on his foot and stuff like that. And everyone helps him, and then these big hearts come out.
Garen, you can see that with Pole's performance and the lights playing an image in the air, the music filling the cacophony of the kitchen, the work in the kitchen has stopped, and people are just like cheering and like oohs and ahs and just completely captivated by this, including the gnome that had pulled you aside, Pole.
Yeah, I think Garen would try to get Paul's attention and wave him out.
Oh, what's going on, Garen?
We would just like to hear the music out here too.
Oh, I can play louder. He starts
Or
really
maybe you can-
strumming and hollering.
Or join us out here and let them get back to work.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Nobody's working. Oh man, I made it worse. Oh. Well, I'm gonna go out there and play. You can probably still hear it. And I'll go out and start playing the song to everybody who's dining.
You see a twinkle in the eye of the gnome that had been talking to you, and she shakes her head. She says, "You're making it much, much better." And as you begin to leave the kitchen, folks continue with the work, and you hear the sounds of the washing pit and folks distributing food. Pole, as you come out, you can see that people in line are beginning to bop their heads, and some of them take off their hats and bow to you. And they smile at Garen, they smile at you, they smile at Finn.
Yeah, I think Garen actually is kind of smiling as he walks away. Genuinely smiling this time.
Meanwhile... oh, yes, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think being in an environment like this with music is kind of what Finn needed, even if he wasn't gonna outwardly say it. So, you can kind of, there's a sense of like, just kind of calming down, letting things be the way they are, kind of more reflective on, you know, hopefully maybe we don't have to deal with that kind of stuff here anymore, and just enjoying the atmosphere and realizing how nice of a place this is.
And you have a pleasant conversation with Fortanum. He invites you to come to his bookstore after you've finished doing all of this together.
Mm-hmm.
And the scene will slowly fade to black. We find ourselves in the Fog and Frog. KayBee, you approach what appears to be your standard tavern. You see that there is a steel sign suspended off of a wooden beam. It has been poorly painted. You can tell that it's very old and it's been weathered by the sea wind, salted and healing. How do you want to enter the Frog and Fog?
Well, excuse me. So I guess as I approach and kind of survey the place, I don't know if open doorway, what have you, but I point up to the sign and turn to Quick. I guess this is the place. Smells like soup. You just kind of walk to the door with Quick following as well as Legs.
Okay.
Look around inside. Step in the door. Look around inside.
Yeah, Quick will open the door for you and hold it open. You can see that there are a moderate number of people here currently dining inside the tavern. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
So as if anybody looks in the direction of the door as the door opens and we walk in, I immediately smile and I wave.
Excellent. There are a few people that look, just kind of like, when a door opens, it draws attention.
Yeah, my
But-
passive is 21, so I rolled a 26.
When you enter and you deliberately wave at the people, it seems to pull even more attention. Almost everyone in the tavern is looking at the three of you as you approach.
Hi. Oh, yeah, you too. Hi.
Some people just kind of and turn away and continue eating their food. A few people kind of raise their mugs to you in polite. No one seems overly enthusiastic, and they're mostly dismissive of you. You see very clearly with the 26 investigation that they clock your heraldry of the sea lily, and their eyes linger for a moment, but none of them come up to you to ask questions.
Yep.
You approach the
Yeah, so I guess I walk to the counter if there's a counter, look around for somebody who might be the proprietor.
Yeah, you see there is a man. He has a dark mop of hair and he has light brown skin. He is moderately built and he has sort of a deadpan expression as you enter. He was watching from the moment you stepped in. His eyes glanced over 2 legs to your sigil and now to you. And he's the only person behind the bar. You see that
Okay.
he's decently dressed. He's not wearing any bright clothing. He has the sleeves of his tunic rolled up, so you can instantly clock him as a working man.
Human?
Yes, human.
Okay. So when he looks at me, I smile and I wave. Hello, sir. Fortanum sent me. Told me I need to quick. I should remember. I forget the name of the gentleman I'm supposed to find, but I'm here to get soup for Fortanum.
You see Quick kind of like gesturing vaguely,
Exactly.
like
Because he doesn't speak.
Yeah, Quick
And,
doesn't
and I see
speak.
him gesture, and it's like, oh yeah, the name is start with an S. I'm sorry.
If you're looking for Skeldruff, that's going to be me.
Oh, hello, sir.
Hello.
I'm here to get the soup.
All right, it's about time you can come around back. Very interesting that Vortanum is sending you, though. I was expecting
we're just trying
himself.
we're just trying to help. Couple friends.
He squints at you for a moment, and it's not like a suspicious thing, but he's just trying to figure you out. Can I get a persuasion check from
So I
you?
stand there majestically with my hands on my hips, displaying my heraldry.
Okay.
So what am I rolling?
Persuasion. Not advantage, just regular.
Do I have any like blessings or anything? I don't think I do. Okay, that's fine.
You've got this.
I try to at least look majestic. if
You
not
look
too much.
great. You look super cool. Some people have a twinkle in their eye. Oh, thank you, zombie. Yeah, you can use that if you want. So re-roll your 11 into...
Try to be a little bit persuasive.
Oh, a 2. So we'll stick with the 11. You see Skeldriff is just trying to size you up. They're not stopping you from coming around, but they're
Yeah,
just
so-
trying to get a sense of who
Yeah,
you
so I'll
are.
come around. I'm like looking for the soup.
Mm-hmm. It's right over there, and he points at a barrel, and he begins.
So I
to-
walk over to the barrel. It's probably bigger than me.
Yes.
So I kind of put my cloak back over my shoulders and I spread my arms and kind of squat down a little bit. And you hear this as my armor kind of, these pieces on my armor all snap and click and clatter. And I grab this thing. I've activated an effect of my artificer enhanced armor. It is it's armor of magical strength. And what
Mm.
it does is it gives me advantage on strength checks. So I'm going to pick this thing up. Actually, not advantage. It gives me my intelligence bonus on strength checks.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pick this thing up and I'm gonna put it up on the seat of legs.
All right. So go ahead and roll me athletics with your intelligence modifier.
17.
17. You make short work of this, and as you are doing this, you hear a few, whoa, look over there. The crowd of people that are here are paying attention, and you see Skeldriff take a step back, cross their arms over their chest, and he goes, all right, I can see why Vortanum sent you now. That makes sense.
Yeah, we're here to help.
What kind of contraption is this? Some sort of sorcery?
No, just a little bit of machinery.
I see. Do
Nothing
you make
can't
it?
make it a local. Yeah.
Well,
Some people say it's kind of cool.
All right. You can see that he's very thoughtful, scratching his chin.
Yeah, I'll be around all day.
And I'll be here. You can come find me if you need me.
Okay, legs, let's go.
Okay. As you begin to leave, you see Quick kind of rushes forward to get the door for you. Roll me an insight check. 6. Everything's fine. People are definitely watching because they're super interested in your cool invention,
I know.
and nothing's wrong at all.
Yep.
Quick holds the door open. You pass through. Quick kind of gently salutes the people inside and closes the door behind you. And you begin to make your way back to the soup kitchen. When you get there, there's music.
I hear pull.
Yeah, you hear the signature sounds of nothing short of a masterpiece being birthed from Pole's fingertips.
Yeah, I wink at Paul, and I drum my fingers on the side of the soup barrel.
Oh, I didn't expect you to be back so soon. Please, just bring it on back into the kitchen, set it down anywhere. And, I think we're gonna start getting ready for the evening shift here.
Very cool.
So, Pole, roll me a flat d20, please. Okay. On 12 separate occasions, people try to tip you.
I'll let him do it, but then I'll just give it to the bar or give it to the soup kitchen.
Okay. Yeah, you see some folks are like, we need good music here. I'm glad that you brought some song back into our home. And they kind of like slide you some coins, and some people just kind of put money in your hands without saying anything.
Oh, here. Just put it down here, and I'll put my hat down there. And Buttons can guard the coins.
Yeah, you can see like as people put coins, they're like, oh, and they kind of pull back, looking at the rat, and they just kind of continue on without asking any questions. You see that the line slowly begins to die down, and that the lunch line eventually finishes. Vortanum closes the front door and apologetically turns away a few people, saying, we'll be open in a few hours. We just need to shift on over to the evening ready. And he turns to the group of you and puts his ham-like fists on his hips. Well, today was much more of a success than it normally is, thanks to the group of you. I have much gratitude for you. You have made the day a lot easier for many people here in Uskarn.
Glad we could help.
Mm-hmm.
Is there
It's great
anything?
what you're doing here.
Oh, I've lived here my whole life. It's the least I can do to give back. Is there anything that I can do to help you?
Well, as we've said, we're new in town, so any advice you might have or aid you
I
might
think we
need.
could use a safe place to stay.
Oh,
That too.
That actually is a good idea.
very good.
The Fog and Frog, was that an inn or a bar?
It was both.
Okay.
And Volchanim will even say, well, you could take up lodging at the Fog and Frog. They do have some rooms, hopefully. I would suggest trying to keep your business at the docks light as possible. And you see he kind of purses his lips together, almost as if he wants to say something more, but he holds back.
Why would you say that? Is it because of the military boat?
See, he kind of like...
It's all right. You won't get in any trouble from talking to us.
He leans into the kitchen, sees who's still there, leans back, looking around. It's just the group of you. Well, it is no secret that the sea princes do occasionally make their way through Uskarn, across the Eel coast. This is a part of their hold, after all. There are pirates, there are smugglers, unsavory folk that don't care for the well-being of the people that live here. It has always been a part of life in Uskarn. Unfortunately, there's nothing to be done about it, other than try to limit the risk as much as you can to yourself.
Understandable.
But as far as helping out the people here, you might want to head out to the Hermitage.
Hermitage?
Yes. Firewatch Island. There is a ferry that can take you across the water, or you can rent out a boat if you so like. It is about an hour ride out. And I know that some folk here in Uskarn make a point of going to deliver items. The ferryman is appointed to transfer goods to the Hermitage, but I don't know if anyone's checked in on them for a while.
Is that a place to stay too?
I suppose if you seek sanctuary, they won't turn you away, but I don't think they would give long lodging.
Now, does Fog and Frog, it sounds like a kind of place that might have beer, right?
Oh.
Yeah, it smells like beer.
You see Vortanim's eyes sprinkle, and he leans in, almost as if sharing a secret. Skeldruff makes the best beer on this side of the coast.
I think we're gonna have to go then now. At least he
Think
looks at
so.
Paul the whole. He looks at Paul as he says that whole thing.
Paul's already walking.
Yeah. Okay. So is the group of us leaving then, or?
He doesn't have any more work for you. He does say, if you want to help with the evening shift, it will start in about 3 hours. But of course, no pressure. You have done more than enough to help the people that live here.
It's been a long road. I think we could all use some rest.
Yes, agreed. And then before we leave, Finn will out of his backpack I'll say that Finn probably, if this is okay, has kept a couple of the little baggies that we'll get when we get like paid work or whatever, because they'll get like little envelopes or bags or whatever we get our coins in
Mm-hmm.
from like the various people who've given us money.
Yes.
So Finn will then put some money in a pouch and tighten it up a bit, hand it over, and he'll say, "Well, if we're here to represent the Lady Arlen, may as well do how she does," and hands a bag over to him.
Oh,
Yeah.
many
Garen
thanks.
would also hand over 3 gold.
I
Oh,
Anything to
my
help.
heavens.
so yep, oh yeah, okay. Yep. And then when for dramatic effect, we'll just say that we leave after I've already given the bag, so they haven't opened the bag before I left.
Mhm.
And because may as well do how Arlen does. And I had the extra
Yeah.
coin. When they open up the pouch, there's 10 gold in there.
Wow.
Excellent. That's so generous. Be sure to mark your character sheets that
I already
you've
did.
given this
I already
away.
did.
So the group of you leave, and it isn't until after you leave that Vortanum will open, and he's silent as he stares at all of this money that the group of you have given. He's all alone in the soup kitchen. He slowly closes it up and he holds it to his heart. A big tear rolls down his cheek. And then you see the camera follow him into the kitchen and he begins to scrub down some of the surfaces. We move over to the Fog and Frog Tavern. You can see that this is also a time between meals, so most of the people who were here for lunch have moved on from the Fog and Frog, so not as big of a crowd as it was earlier at KayBee. As you approach, you can see the Fog and Frog is a pretty standard looking tavern. There are people loitering outside. It seems as if this building was also once a warehouse and it's been converted into this establishment. So you are all standing outside of the tavern currently.
Well, I'm gonna go in. Is it open?
Yeah.
Going in.
As you enter in, you can see that Skeldruff, this moderately built individual, he is currently adjusting chairs and tables, spacing them out, essentially just tidying up the place. He stands up and he slaps a rag over his shoulder, hooking his thumbs into his belt. He looks at you, KayBee. He looks at the others. Welcome to the Fog and Frog. What can I do for you?
Hello there, barkeep. I hear you've got a tasty beverage here. I'd like to buy some for me and my friends.
He
And
smirks
everybody's
at
my
you.
friend in this place.
A
No.
wolfish grin crosses over his face. As you offer to buy drinks, immediately people are like perking up, leaning forward. You've absolutely captured the attention of everyone here now. He goes, all right. Well, it's clear that you aren't from around here, so I have the distinct pleasure to introduce to you my specialty. And he begins to pour several mugs of beer, and he plop, 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 puts them down onto the bar top. Go on. Give it a try.
KayBee, Garen, Finn. Cheers.
Cheers.
When you drink this beer, this is one of the sweetest, most savory beer that you've ever had. It is very good. You can tell that a lot of love and craftsmanship has been put into this lager. And the bartender goes, well, I call that plank's plank.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. It's right amazing. And I'll have another right now. Anyone else want?
Yeah, you see
Oh.
people have come up behind you at the offer
my
of
God.
drinks, and they're just sort of gathering around.
Yeah, Garen takes the beer, he takes a small taste and then goes off to the corner And I don't know if anybody's noticed, Garen rarely drinks anything he didn't pour himself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he just kind of sits off in the corner pretending to drink.
Okay. Yeah, Garen, when you move away, you get a clear vantage point of everyone else because they're all at the bar.
Just for
That was his
clarity,
plan.
did Pull buy a round for the house?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, you
That-
see people are just kind of scooting in, grabbing a drink, scooting back, giving a nod, raising the mug at you.
And then Paul is going to say, "Is it all right if I play a little music?"
Do I have to pay you?
Not at all. Not after this wonderful beverage. I should be paying you, and this is what I'd like to do for my thanks.
Well, all
This
right.
beer of yours has inspired a song about flavor, and I'll start playing a song about how great this beer is, and how anyone who wouldn't have a second glass of it's a fool.
As you begin to do that, you see he leans back against the bar back there and he's just listening, taking it in. Go ahead and roll me performance at normal. It is really rough that you have exhaustion.
I know. That's all right. I'm gonna have a nice sleep tonight, I hope. Ooh.
Hold
Worst I
on.
could do.
Hold on.
I guess I'm getting a little tipsy too fast.
Okay,
Fair.
we have to have the
no,
blessings.
That's normal. Right. That's normal.
Oh.
So it's not disadvantaged. I'm good.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
So it's
a
That's
right.
correct. That's correct. It's a 23. For
Okay, never-
future reference, we should have the blessings before we do the roll if we want to
True.
use the blessings.
Well,
I
Paul can
thought I
have an
had given
extra one.
Paul a blessing earlier too.
Yeah, I have one. I thought you, but she said
Well,
do it
Paul,
at
you
normal,
have
so I
3
assumed
now.
I already had it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Everyone gets
assumed
them.
that you were giving me advantage already, so that a blessing would give me more advantage. I'm not sure how that evens out when
they
you're.
basically cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't
So
quite thinking. Sorry.
23. No, you're fine.
Mhm.
23. Absolutely. You start playing a song and it is a bop.
Mhm.
You see that folks are coming up to get another pint of beer at your influence, and Skeldrove seems pleased. You can tell that this individual is very stoic and reserved, and he seems to try to not show his burgeoning feelings of being impressed by the group of you, but he is pouring a good number of drinks and he is being kept busy as you're playing this song. Garen is off to the side. You can see people are settling down and they keep watching the bar, even if they sit down. It's pretty obvious that these folks are very interested and curious about the group of you now.
As this is all going on, Finn's gonna go up to them at maybe as less of a busy time as possible, and ask, so, do you have any rooms available? We were told this is also an inn, not just a establishment, I suppose.
Well, yes, we have some moderately sized rooms in the back. This warehouse has been converted to allow some lodging for folks that are passing through.
Okay. How much is it?
Well, I'll just go ahead and say that between that very well-composed song that y'all are playing and the round that you've put on the house, it's fine. You can have a night on me. Other than
Oh.
that, beyond that, we'll call it a 5 silver a night.
That's very generous and very fair of you. Is it a room for each one of us, all 4 of us, or is it like a giant, like, what is the
5 rooms.
5 room? Okay. Alright. Well, thank you then. And then, Finn will then nod and take his beer and probably sit right next to Garen.
Okay.
By the way, how much does the round for the house set me back? Take that off my.
We'll set it at 1 gold.
Gold. All right.
Yeah. You managed to come in like right after the lunch rush, before the dinner rush. So this is like the most
yeah.
optimal
Best
time to do
time.
it. Yeah.
I ran for the house. It's me and my 4 friends.
Yeah, there's like 5 other people here.
Who wants around at 3:30? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Like earlier, KayBee, you would have seen probably closer to 15, 20 people. There's just the group of you and 5 other people right now.
Can we get a menu?
All right, our
I can go
selection's
for a
kind
steak.
Yep, we've got steak.
It's probably frog steak, KayBee. Are you sure you want that?
Oh, I love frog steak.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
You don't know what you're missing.
I'll chance it.
You see that Skeldrop disappears into the kitchen for a bit, and their aroma of meat being cooked fills the air. When he returns, he puts down a steak in front of you, KayBee. It's a regular steak, and it
That's
has a green stick sticking out of it.
Okay. Grass fed.
Your frog steak. He leans against the counter here, and he begins to ask the group of you questions. The vibe is very casual now. You see that folks are leaving. There's loitering. It's not too busy at the moment. Skeldrop.
I hope my friends also get something to eat on me.
Yeah, he'll pull out like a platter, and there'll be some roasted potatoes, some fresh vegetables and fruit, some bread, and meat chunks for those who want the meats. But essentially, he will lean up against the counter and say, "So what business do the group of you have here?"
We're here to help out. We're just we're do-gooders on the road. Or
What
on the sea, I guess.
What does that mean, though?
I don't know. It depends what needs doing.
I will
We
have
just
to
came
say,
back from helping at the, what do you call it? The soup kitchen.
But why?
Because
We're
we need
passing
more
through.
good in this world.
We're passing through and figured we'd help out while we were here.
He kind of leans back and rubs the back of his neck. You can tell he's not asking questions out of suspicion, but more of just curiosity. And he says, "It is admirable, your efforts being put into the town. But I will have to say that this is not a good place."
What would make it better?
You see him kind of cast a long look towards one of the windows in no direction
Loaded
particular. If there was an easy answer for that, I think Uskarn would be a much kinder, happier place. But,
Well, we don't need just easy answers. We're willing to help with the hard stuff, too.
And I can say it's probably better if you let us handle the hard ones.
He bites his lip, and it's kind of the same look that you saw on Vortanum's face. And he's looking all of you up and down, and his eyes will hook over to you, Garen. And he just bluntly says, "You're military, aren't you?"
Yes. Former.
Do you work for the Sea Princes now?
No. Self-employed.
Do any of you work for the Sea Princes?
No.
We work for the Sea Lily.
The Sea Lily.
Independent.
That's
It's
still
an independent
self-employed,
ship.
but-
I haven't heard of that. And you see that his eyes are kind of studying KayBee's heraldry again.
And by the way, Quick also wears the same kind of heraldry.
Yeah, and he's looking at Click.
We got our
Well-
ship at Saltmarsh, but we're independent.
If you haven't heard of us, then it's just because the news hasn't got around here yet. But we helped him out a lot in Saltmarsh, and we helped out a bunch of folks who were in trouble with these
Sahagin.
sea creatures.
I don't know what that is.
Well,
But-
yeah, that's because of us.
But
Neither
you're
did
from
I until then.
Saltmarsh? Is that what you're saying?
We've been through there.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
from
where we
Ammonford.
get the ship.
Oh. There was a young lass that came through from Ammonford a couple of days ago. Huh.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, how young? My age?
Hmm,
Older.
You see, he kind of
Younger.
leans forward and he like rubs at your cheek, gets some dirt off your face. Yeah, I guess around your age. Maybe a little older.
Well, Ammonford's a big town, but maybe I know her. What's her name?
I didn't ask for their name. I don't really ask questions. It's how I get by here.
Fair enough. Well, if anyone asks after me, you can say my name's Paul, and I'm pleased to meet you.
I'm very pleased to meet the group of you. If
And
I
I'm
did,
KB. I'm from Pilm's Delve. That's a couple hundred miles to the north.
Oh, I haven't been that far north yet. Probably never will. And what are your names? Looking at Finn and Garen.
Garen was
Finn.
hoping he would ignore his name.
He is pointedly looking at you.
I'm Garen. Where I'm from, well, I try to forget it, so I don't think I need to share it with you.
That is fair enough. And what about you?
Name is Finn.
Hmm.
I am from near Saltmarsh, a town called Crosto. I think I'm saying that right. I don't remember.
Hmm. Well, as long as you aren't here to cause more trouble, you're welcome underneath my roof. Do you plan on staying here for very long in Uskarn?
I don't think so. I'm not.
Well,
I'm trying to remember how long it takes how long
Yeah.
we were given a time, but
I don't think we were given one.
No,
I think
your
we'll play that by
mission.
ear.
Yeah, your mission was very vague because it was more of just like, go figure stuff out on your own. You know, go
Yeah.
do good in the name of the
So the-
king.
yeah. So there wasn't like there wasn't a time frame of you have to be back in like a week or whatever.
Mm-mm.
Tell us
You
the
basically
report.
have to do like a scouting report and like while you're here, like try to gather
Okay.
information, right?
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
were told, though, not to mention the king.
Yeah, so as soon as I said
Yes.
that, I was like, oh yeah, in the name of the king, but don't actually mention the
I
king.
figured that.
Yeah.
I figured Lady
Yeah.
Yeah,
Arlen
yeah,
was.
yeah.
I figured Lady Arlen was the replacement for that. So.
Yeah,
Right.
but as you mentioned, like, not long, then Skeldriff will say, well, that is good news, because I will let you know right away. Baron heraldry like that is going to get everyone to ask questions, and eventually you will have to speak to someone that works for the Sea Princes, because they will seek you out.
Yeah, I guess with that, I removed my cape.
Do they just are they not big about outsiders, or do they have a thing against? Because we've just been spreading kindness. It's not like we've been coming around ravaging the town or nothing.
Don't step on my toes type thing, I think.
Oh,
Intent is none of their concern. They are protective, they are possessive. And you can see that as you begin like stuffing away like your marked clothing, KayBee, Quick is also like just kind of peeling out of the tabard in the
Yep.
background.
They're just like in the back.
Was it naked day already?
Oh no.
Paul starts pulling off his coat.
Quick is like trying to like smooth out your clothing, pull it back down. It's just shaking their head.
Just kidding. I know.
All right. Well, we don't mean to step on toes, but if us being here a little less time or not as long will help with that, then we will. We mean nothing but good, so.
I can see that, but not everyone is going to see eye to eye here.
That's very true.
Well, if your intention is so pure and that is what you are actually truly here for, he squints just a little bit, but moves on. I would recommend checking out the Hermitage. It doesn't get as much love as it should. Resources are kind of spread thin.
Anybody else? I mean, that sounds great, but we'll do that. Anything else you think we should check out while we're here?
Well, if you don't value your lives, you could beat the shit out of Griff Talson at the docks. Then you would definitely want to cut out of town. You will have people hunting you.
What do they do?
Hermitage first, then.
Oh, they are one of the most corrupt deputies. A real stick in the mud, boot in the ass, if you know what I mean.
They're the local authorities? I mean, they work for the town?
Work
they work
is
at
a
the dock.
word.
Oh,
Work the town, more like it.
The Sea Prince's influences run very deep.
Well, let's do the Hermitage first, and then if
Yeah.
we get done that, we might see if we can take a poke at the sky.
Or boot.
You see him like kind of sniff a bit, and he leans back, crossing his arms over his chest. And if anyone comes asking, it wasn't my idea, alright?
Of course not.
I will just speak plainly. If you are truly people of action, that is what needs to be done.
So the last thing we do before we leave. Got it.
Very much
Yeah.
so.
Thanks for the tip.
Yeah. And whenever you're ready for the rooms, he hooks a thumb over his shoulder. Down the hallway, the rooms on the right, they're all yours.
Oh, yes, I'll tell to the... I don't know if I told the party or not, but I'll just tell the party that I asked about rooms and we got some.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Finn.
You're welcome.
Here, have another beer. And I'll get one for myself and Finn.
He pours them out, shoves them forward. They're very good beer.
Garen's still working on it. Do you want another one, KayBee?
of course.
All right.
Don't let them stop.
KayBee here.
He pours another one for you, and essentially he will eventually go back to work without any further questions. So we can do a couple things here. You can have the effects of a long rest if you just want to spend the rest of the night. It will say that it's probably pushing close to like 4 or 5 p.m. here, so you probably won't get much done. You could do some like evening exploration of the village, or rest.
I think...
Cole wants the long rest for sure.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Exhausted.
I think after everything that's gone on, Finn does want to rest, although he does want to check out that library, but he thinks that there'll be better times to do that.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
just, yeah.
It wasn't a library, it was a bookstore.
Bookstore.
Bookstore, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
They'll tell you that when you go in there and just read books and don't pay.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah, I think-
I gave him some money. I
Well,
think
you
I'll
know
pay.
Vortanum's personality by now. You get the sense that Vortanum wouldn't mind.
No, but if there was any books, I would buy them.
Yeah.
That's probably Finn's goal at this point now.
It's like going to the local Barnes and Noble, and when they used to serve coffee, and you'd go to the shelf and you'd find your book that had your bookmark in it.
Okay, so you can all take the benefits of a long rest.
Okay.
If there's any one thing that you want to do, you can squeeze something in. It is now deep into the night, though.
I think Garen would go exploring the town, not necessarily poking his head around, just getting the lay of the land, seeing what he can see.
Okay. As you're going around, you can tell that Uskarn is very small. As I mentioned before, it's only a fraction of the size of Saltmarsh here. Probably only about 900 people total live here. You see a bookshop, you see a cheese shop, you see a blacksmith, a fur and leather shop, and a general store. Those are the only real places of interest here. But beyond that are the docks, and there's a very flourishing fish market.
Right. Now, real quick, and I'm not sure if this has any meaning, but I know the inn and the soup kitchen were converted warehouses. Are any of the other buildings converted warehouses?
Let's see. The general store is,
Hmm.
but the bookstore, the cheese shop, the blacksmith, and the tanner shop are all established buildings. They seem newer.
Right. Kind of implies the town has gone very downhill very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Where they had warehouses, they're emptied, and they're being turned into something else. So, all right. And I think Garen would call it a night at that.
Okay.
He'd share this information with anybody he saw before he went to bed, but
Yeah, presumably the group of you would have dinner at the Fog and Frog as well. There's a decent crowd. You can tell, especially at nighttime, the Fog and Frog is very popular. It fills up completely. There's easily 50 people in this single tavern, drinking and eating by the time you have dinner.
if one leaves, probably one comes back or comes in.
So one of the things that I do, hopefully doesn't take too long, I'll visit a local alley or just wander around the neighborhood a little bit, find a hunk of wood, maybe a busted up crate. I want to get a piece of wood, maybe about 6 by 6 inches. And I'm going to, clean up the edges of it, what have you. And I'm going to show Paul that with one of my tools, I can write words in magic lettering on this piece of wood. And I'm going to tell him to give me 25 words that I'll put on this piece of wood that he can use. And I'll write the alphabet on there too. He can use this to help communicate with the spirit in the lantern. And maybe he has ideas of words that he might want her to point at, right? And anytime he wants to change those, only takes me a second. I can change those words on the board. So basically, it becomes a mechanism by which it'd be a little bit easier for him to communicate with the spirit.
KayBee just invented the Ouija board.
So I love this idea, and absolutely. But before we get to the point where you're able to present this to Paul and craft it, you're in an alleyway here. It is a bit of a colder night tonight. The moon is about half full, and the sky is very clear. You find yourself alone in this alleyway, and you find this crate. This particular crate is clearly abandoned. It's in no functional state, so you know it won't be missed. And
poor little crate, nobody loves you.
You kind of hold this piece of wood in your hands. You can see that at one point someone had painted on it. There's a small smiley face in one of the corners of the planks that was scribbled on by an inexpert hand. It is bright yellow and it catches your eye. As you're beholding this, you realize what a very long day you've had. You had this intense battle with the Harpy matriarch earlier today when you made landfall. You saw this compelling vision of your heart's deepest desire and potential failure. You weigh all of the things that have led you up to this point, and you're holding a simple piece of wood, but it somehow feels heavy. You have drawn the Fool card. You lose something here. It can be abstract, it can be physical, it can be a memory, it could be a bond. You can take this interpretation however you like. But when you're holding this piece of wood, you decide to make a difference of something and let it go.
Yeah, this reflective moment has been building for KayBee for some time. You know, when he first left his home in Pilsdelve, you know, some decades prior, went to grad school, he was still very much missing his wife, the wife of his youth. He had married this dwarven gal, and he had a couple kids, but she was an adventurer, and her heart was the road. So, short time after the kids were born, she was gone. She was gone adventuring, and she settled elsewhere. And she wrote letters for a while, and maybe KayBee doesn't know what finally came for her. Probably a new life. His own kids grew, and eventually they went to Noel Draw, the capital of Keoland. They live there now with their families, and he hears from them and he saw of them on occasion as the decades passed. But for the longest time, he was alone, and he missed his wife. He was sworn. He had swore oaths in his youth to wait, and he waited for a couple hundred years for her to return. And this has been hard for him. But this was a commitment of his youth. So much has happened in the last weeks and months since he met this group of people. And he became something more than he was in Saltmarsh. He lets go of all those promises of his youth. He's now ready to date.
That is amazing. I love that so fucking much. So yeah, you take this piece of wood that you found and you have a new sense of adventure, a new sense of experimentation and exploration. And you go seek out Pol. You tell Pol your plan. 25 words, Pol. That's what KayBee wants from you.
And you can change them anytime. Just let me know.
Oh, I got an even better idea. What I'm gonna do is we'll use that alphabet one and we'll get her to pick what word she wants. And she can change her vocabulary whenever she wants.
And I wipe this thing off front and back, and you see the back of it has this big old silly smiley face on it.
Oh, that's cool. That's really happy looking. You should make little, like, buttons of that and put it on everyone's cloak.
Happy club. It's our new heraldry.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Landrian from chat said, the people of Saltmarsh have discovered emojis.
Yay.
All right. So Pol, you can go about inquiring Milvia to give you words and all of that over the course of the night. We'll save that for off screen because I can't come up with 25 words right now. But Milvia would probably have a very strong idea of what to give you and would essentially equip you with those if you offer to do that.
Yeah. She probably will pick the words she wants to use, so you can just have her pick short sentences of whatever
Yeah, absolutely.
when you want to talk. Yeah.
So we'll say that you'll spend the rest of your night, Pol, talking to Milvia, telling Milvia the plan. Is there anything that Garen and Finn want to do before we close out this night?
I think Finn will probably talk with Pol a little bit. In between, we'll say this happens in between what KayBee and Pol were doing. And Finn will basically go, oh, I was being a little distant earlier, but I saw from my vision that you've got this new little lantern. Where did you find it?
It was buried right in the sand, right near where we had that battle with those harpy ladies.
Oh, you found buried treasure then.
Yeah, it was buried treasure. You're right. I never even thought of it that way. It's like a pirate.
It is kind of like a pirate. Do you know what it does? Is it just a normal lantern? Because
No, it's actually quite sinister. It's it's a trapped somebody's spirit inside. It's a ghost lantern, and I have to free her. And it's going to cost a lot of money, and I have to find someone really powerful to do it. But until then, I can call her out to fetch things. Yeah, to fetch things. But I don't want to do that because that's slavery. So what I'm going to do,
Right.
KayBee made these things where we can put like letters and words on them, and though she can tell me what she wants to do, and then I can tell her to do that thing, and then she can do it, and that'll be much better for her. And here's a stopgap until like we can set her free with this.
Oh.
I forget the spell, like dispel evil and good, or something like that.
Oh yes, something of that nature. Yeah.
An evil
KayBee
wizard
knows.
somewhere is just like turning in their grave. You're like, no, you found the loophole in my device.
So does it work like a normal lantern? I guess I'd say.
Oh yeah, it makes light, totally. Yeah, makes light.
Good.
It's really good for that.
Yeah, because I think out of all of us, maybe most of us, I don't remember quite, but I know that you're one of the people who doesn't have the best with sight when we get to darkness. So this actually might be very helpful for you.
Yeah, it will. It will be helpful, but I'll be much, much happier when she's free.
Oh
Regardless.
yes, no. Not only do you
And
get
always
this...
get a regular lantern, right?
Oh right, yeah, and then you'll have a regular one afterwards. But my thing is that it kind of, you got yourself kind of a mission now. Little man, like you gotta free this and have this little. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. I'm glad you noticed. I'm happy to have you along on my mission.
Oh,
So you're one of my best friends, Finn. And I'm very happy to have you here. I know you've been a bit down about something today, and I'm not sure what it is.
Well,
but it sounded like you got feeling a little bit better when I was playing me tunes. So anytime you want a tune, or if you just want to talk or have, a friend around, I'm here for you, my.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, the tunes and that whole atmosphere of that soup kitchen and the person that we met. I mean, it really got me. It really cheered me up. I kind of needed it. I don't know what KayBee has told you about what had happened, but both him and I got kind of hit with some sort of magic that kind of, from the best I can gather, bring out our greatest wants, so desires, fears, something in that nature. So
That's nasty.
yeah, so I had a vision of something that I've really wanted to have happen for a long time. And the fact that it invaded my mind and it felt so real, it just freaked me out. So.
Oh, well, if you want something to happen, and you'll probably be able to do it, Finn. You're a go-getter. You get things done. But if you need my help in it, I'll certainly help anywhere I can.
Oh, this whole group and everything is... I feel like one day it'll be led to what I'm trying to do, but in the meantime, I've kind of found a bit of a home and family here. So I want to help everyone else as well. And if I get an opportunity to find what I'm trying to do in the end, it'd be great. But, ever since being with y'all, it's been more... Instead of the single goal for myself, it's kind of... I want to help everyone else, too.
That's great, brother. I think we're all set.
Okay.
We're going to do good here, like we're told to. And it'll feel good, too.
I think so, too. But anyway, and I guess at this point, I'll see KayBee kind of walk back, and I'll be like, okay, well, I see KayBee's coming back, and whatever you two are going to talk about with the board, great, wonderful, I'll fill me in later, but I'm kind of feeling tired, so I think I'm going to go to bed. But it's always nice talking with people.
Thanks, and you.
Thank you. And then Finn will get up and wave past KayBee, and I'll just tell KayBee I'm going to head to bed. And then he's going to walk either upstairs or down the hall or however you get to the rooms.
Yeah, it's just next door.
Okay, well, I'll go next door.
Excellent. Garen, is there anything you want to do before you tuck in for the night?
No, I think Garen's ready to go to bed.
Okay. You all find...
There's one last thing that
Yes.
Paul wants to do, actually.
Yeah.
Very last thing. Like seconds before bed. He wants to take... He wants to get Penny Whistle and talk to her. I just want to tell you, Penny, that I know I haven't been paying much attention to you recently. As much. You know, I've got new friends. We've got Sean, and now I've found this new friend, sort of friend, Milvia, in this. I'm gonna try and help her, but that doesn't mean I don't love you the best. Because I do. You're my first and best friend. I just want to make sure you understand that.
That is really sweet. I have a question. Do you have Shern with you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. God, I don't know why they added a telepathic fucking lobster to this. I didn't make that up. That was in the book. But okay. Do you just have a
Random.
lobster chilling like on your bed as you're having this moment?
Well, I probably try if I can to get a basin or a bucket or something so that there's some water and
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
comfortable. But yeah.
Yeah, so you have a bucket of
On the
water on your
nightstand.
bed, on your nightstand. Okay. Yeah. Shern's happy as a clam. So Penny Sprinkle will hug the side of your face and she rests her head against yours. It almost tickles a little bit. And you can feel her wings as they're fluttering. They push air against your cheek. And she says, "It's all right, Paul. I known you long enough to know that you have your heart in the right place. And every time that I've been lost, I know you've put a lot of thought and effort into trying to find me. I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I'm just happy to be here with you."
That's a load off my mind. I thought you were getting, well, I thought you weren't enjoying your time with me anymore, and I was worried. And I'm glad to hear you still love me.
I love you so much, Paul. I will say, though, while we have this moment to ourselves, we should get more snacks or buttons. Because he's starting to develop a habit of trying to bite me.
Buttons. So I'll turn on my speak with animals thing and say, Buttons, you cannot go around biting Penny Sprinkle, or anybody else for that matter. If you need anything, you know, just give me a little nibble. I'll get you something for sure. Don't worry about it. And I'll get something for you right now.
I love that. Okay. What kind of personality does Buttons have?
I haven't thought about it too much. But, you know, he's probably neutral hungry.
Yeah, I was also getting that feeling. Okay. So as you like leave your room to go find some food with the barkeep, Buttons basically just like charges after you, following eagerly, and then kind of scurries up your leg, up your back, and into the folds of your clothes. And the rest of the night kind of passes on. As the day comes, the group of you are having breakfast in the Fog and Frog. As you are joined together, sharing this meal, you begin to catch word. People around you are talking about something, and it's come up enough times that you begin to pay attention. A body was found outside of Uskarn. These people seem to recognize. It was Philpert. Oh no. I was hoping that the lad would finally find some peace. Didn't he go out to Firewatch Island? He joined the Hermitage, didn't he? I suppose so. Why do you think he's on this side of the water? I know that Philpert had a tough time. He was slumming it around for quite a bit. Had to live off of the charity of people. I know he was trying to turn around his troubles, make an effort. by joining Firewatch Island. So sad. And the conversation just kind of shifts naturally away. You hear bits and pieces of this throughout breakfast.
Well, we'll actually
Yeah.
try and get in on one of those conversations.
Yeah,
Is
we
that
did
the
kind of
guy we
forget about
found outside? We came across him, and it looked like, well, some things were eating him. We drove them off, but we should have brought him in to be buried. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all right. They found him eventually. I believe they're doing a service for him sometime this evening. Filbert was all right. He was troubled. That much can be said. I don't know why he tried coming back. It's strange. You would think that he would take the ferry. Why is he on the opposite side of town?
Was he in the kind of trouble with the law or something?
As you mentioned that, they all kind of take in a deep breath, and they're like, I don't know. We need to get going soon. Finish up your food. We don't want to miss the next shipment.
Well, we've had 2 people mention the Hermitage and that rumor they were just talking about. I think it's prudent that we head there.
Yeah, maybe this fellow had no way, he couldn't wait for the ferry, and that's why he had to dive into the water and try and swim here. Maybe there's something
Perhaps.
really terrible happening there.
Not jump to conclusions until we know.
Yeah, okay.
How far away is this island? Do we know?
The 2 people that you most recently talked to, they have left by now. So your question kind of hangs in the air.
We may have to ask the barkeep.
I know Boltanen said there was a ferry that goes there.
Yeah, he told you that the ferry takes an hour to go across the water.
We might want to take our own boat. That way we can leave. We came ashore from the ship on a boat, right? A rowboat?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's in ferry distance, you can definitely take your rowboat.
Yeah, I think that's wise, KayBee.
And that way we can leave when we want.
Indeed.
Okay. So as you begin to finish up your food, the barkeep will come over, and Skeldruff puts his hands on his hips. Oh, you put that food away, no problem. You must have had a tough day yesterday. You sleep okay? Bed's not too lumpy?
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Good
It's comfortable.
Good to see that you enjoyed breakfast. Hardly a crumb left.
We are good.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, the morning crowd's going to be headed on in, and if you don't need the table, I will need it for additional patrons.
Understood.
And
Garen would get up and...
Okay. So you have 2 options here. You can head out to the ferry. You can take your own boat. Which would you like to do?
How about we go get our boat and use that?
Okay. As the group of you begin to leave Uskarn, you head back in the direction of your boat. You immediately see that the body is gone. It's pretty clear that someone discovered the body and it's been taken back to town, so you don't have to worry about it. Your boat has been untouched as well. You find it exactly where you left it, and you begin to crawl in. Out. Put it on the map. Who's rowing?
Whole row.
Okay.
I think it's pretty consistently been Paul who does the rowing.
Go ahead and roll
He's
me
probably
survival.
the weakest person too, which is funny. But
Yeah, I'll help. I don't know if the two people can do it, but maybe one on each side.
there you go.
Yeah, you can definitely help.
And when it gets hard, I kick in my armor, although I can't do that too many times.
Okay. Pole rolls a 7, needs help. Roll survival.
Oh, it's survival?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say I have to subtract 7 off there. Survival.
Okay, a 10. With your combined efforts, you can row just fine. You can see that the weather today is pretty clear. The sky is open, not a cloud to be seen, and the water's pretty calm. It will take about an hour of rowing to make your way towards Firewatch Island. And as you're approaching, you can see that this is a relatively small island. It seems to be about 80 feet long. Sorry, 800 feet long from what you can see. And there is a mixture of scrubby woodland and rocky hills. Peeking above the grass and shrubs, you see that there is a building. Very clearly, the Hermitage. It's the only building here on the entire island. Can I get perception checks from everybody?
I guess looking at the map, is the structure like sandwiched between two pinnacles of rock or
Yes.
slopes?
Yeah, so they basically come up as twin peaks. So what you're seeing there is an elevation map that pulls upwards. That is a natural 1 perception from Finn, a 24 from Garen, a 12 from KayBee, and a 13 from Paul.
In water, or yeah, the sky and the water.
With a 24, Garen, as the group of you are approaching the island, you can see the dock up ahead, and you also see something flying in the air. It's too far away to get a closer look.
Garen would point in that direction, say, anyone know what that is?
I reach into my vest and I pull out this ball of feathers. And you see me open my hand a little bit, and you see Friend's head
Friend.
pop up, and I say, "Hey, go check that out!" And I throw Friend up in the air, and Friend will flap off in the direction I go take a look.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no, I don't like that.
Your Friend's perception roll is 14. That's okay. He's bulletproof.
Yeah, good thing he's a familiar and you can get him back
Okay.
easily.
Yeah.
You see Friend take up into the air, heading in the direction of the flying shape. And very quickly, you can tell that whatever it is, it scares Friend. Friend has gone diagonally away from you in the direction of it, and about halfway towards it, Friend hovers in the air, flapping the little owl body, hovering in the air, and he begins to dart back. You see, whatever this is has noticed Friend and begins to chase it. These wide, monstrously wide wings flare out, and with powerful gusts, it begins to charge forward. Whether or not it has seen you, we'll have to wait until next session to discover.
Oh, boy.
No.
Excellent.
How wide
cliffhanger.
is
No.
how wide is monstrously wide?
Oh dear.
It's a large creature,
Nice.
so it's bigger than a horse in the air.
Flying horse.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So thank you so much everyone for being here. That will be our episode of Secrets of Saltmarsh for tonight. We will be back in 2 weeks. So on the 27th of March, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we will continue our adventure there. I just want to say real quick, thank you so much to all of our Patreons. All the people that you see here on the screen are Patreons, and the Patreons are the reason that I can pay my bills and eat food and stuff like that. So thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Before we go, we're going to do our outros. Tell me who you are, where we can find you, and what your favorite part of today's episode was. And we'll start with Zombie.
Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm Zombie. I am Z. Whatever your name is yet to call me. I am the lore keeper and Captain Z of the Good Ship Clip. I probably do too many clips, so it's up to your own discretion. You can find me on Twitter at ZombieFighter89. If you go there, right there, the pinned tweet there's a art business card thingy made by the lovely lady May. May's awesome. Go check out May's stuff. However, also in there's a Google Doc of all of the different videos I've edited. Well, not all of them. A selection of different videos that I've edited, selection of clips that I've clipped for different channels, and promotional videos like I've done here before for Stella Luna's channel with our games and other and such. So, if you know anyone who needs any audio editing, video editing, Twitch clipping, it is in their budget and they're looking for someone to be hired for such a thing, there's my resume. I think I do this pretty good. So I'd like to be hired. For today's episode, I think my favorite part is probably just the whole soup kitchen. We had a lot of fun with that, and it was just kind of fun to kind of see a heartwarming thing. It's sort of, I think with Finn in his mind, and even in my mind, it's kind of like, this is like a nice, kind, heartful place, but all we keep hearing about is how bad this place is. So it's kind of, it'll be kind of interesting to see, past what I'm assuming we've seen is just surface level, what's all in this place to give it that reputation. So I think kind of seeing a lot of good, but hearing bad, but not seeing any bad, wondering what the bad is, and I'm assuming the bad's gonna come out of the sky at us in the next episode, but you know.
Thank you very much. We'll hop on over to John.
Hey there, I'm John, aka Endicarus, and yeah, I played pool tonight, and it was a lot of fun tonight. I got to do a lot of sweet pool things, and he's here to rot all of your teeth. I think I like the points that come out in of each person's character that are just little subtle things that come right in. I think the one that stood out the most to me tonight was just such a small thing, but that Garen does not let other people pour his drinks. I was like, that's so Garen. That rules. I really liked that. And it's just a tiny little touch like that just brings the character to life. So yeah, I love that a lot. For my own self, I'm running a bunch of games at a local convention, and one of them is going to be, well, two of them are going to be my own games. I'm particularly excited about my Lucky Day Seniors Bingo game. If you've downloaded Lucky Day Seniors Bingo, it's just a one-page role-playing game that I made for a one-page RPG jam a while back from my itch page. You can actually also download a setting that I created for it recently, which is, it's also about a page long with more words in it than the actual rules. And I think it's pretty good. It's called Twilight Station, and it's basically an benevolent AI run space station seniors center with like 2 million inhabitants. And yeah, it's just a quick little thing that I wrote up, and I'm going to be using it for the setting for my game this weekend. I'm excited to show that off. So go there, download it, enjoy it, play it with your friends.
Excellent. And good luck with the con. I hope you have lots of fun. And
Thanks.
Congratulations.
I sure will.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll pop on over to Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim. I'm GodfatherWraith _ESG. I really don't have any presence on social media, but you can find me here in Stella's chat almost anytime she streams, as well as on our Discord and in a few other members of the community that stream. I'll show up in their chats as well. So yeah.
What was your favorite part today?
Oh, my favorite part, yes. Honestly, the dang cliffhanger. That was a good one.
I wasn't sure if we were going to get to the island. We did some really good roleplay. I'm really glad that we got to have little moments with everybody.
Yeah, this was a fun night, even though we didn't get to the dungeon crawling you promised.
Yeah, it's okay, because that means that Emma will be here for it.
Yes,
Yeah.
very true.
And I think it'll be really helpful to have your healer be there.
Yes.
Yeah. Leader, leader. Yes.
Lead healer.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And GeekDice.
Hey folks, I'm GeekDice. You can find me on the X. I'll drop a link. I think tonight there was a lot of really great little moments, and I think each character had something that really shined. I like that Finn had a little bit of a crisis, but he was able to find his way through it. I think we all deal with that in our lives, and I think it's great to kind of manifest that with a character, kind of get into a character skin. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed a few other things as well. Seeing Garen serving soup and kind of dealing with that, customer service is always a challenge. It's its own thing, serving people, but seeing Garen doing that's kind of powerful in itself, right? Putting yourself out there and doing that's great. It's great to see Garen.
I honestly enjoyed that too.
that was different. That was good. And I think Paul had so many great moments tonight. It was stunning. The interaction with the lantern was really cool. And Paul always has a song. He brings a positive light onto so many.
No.
Paul brings so many moments of positive light and positivity. I really appreciate that. It was great. It was great.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we lost Zombie, but it's okay because we're wrapping up. Please check out Emma's links. Emma's links will be here in the chat. Emma is a game designer and also the game master for our Fabula Ultima game, which is a TTRPG, so it's like Final Fantasy inspired. So that is every other Thursday. It's okay, Zombie. I'm gonna put everyone back in their spots. Go here. Nope. Does it go here? It goes here. I'm just dragged things around. All right, cool. No one's in the right spot, but you see their faces. All right. Yes. So Fabula Ultima is every other Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be back with more Saltmarsh in 2 weeks at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time is going to be our other Patreon campaign, Rime of the Frost Maiden. And one other thing that I'm really excited to talk about is we are gearing up to do more community campaigns. So if you want to play, join our Discord. We're starting to brainstorm and put together some things so people can all come together and play. So if you want to do this, you have a chance to do it. I'm going to be doing a world building stream here probably next week. So all the information will be over there. Thank you so much for being here. Really, really appreciate you. And I hope you have a great day. Bye, everybody.